And good morning. Welcome to The Bright Side. I am Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for joining us. 844-236-6010 is our number. If you have questions, comments, success story, if you have a health issue you want help with, we can get you off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program like the one designed by Doc Wallach and the folks at Longevity. You can call 844-236-6010 if you'd like to speak to us, and we love hearing from you. If you want to purchase Longevity products, you can head to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com, or you can call 866-735-2470, 866-735-2470. Got a guest coming up at the bottom of the hour. Greg Mannion is going to talk to us about Soma breathwork. I have been a big believer in breathwork for many years, since I first heard in pharmacy school about the connection between the parasympathetic nervous system and the breath, and between disease and or health, I suppose we'll say, and the parasympathetic nervous system. Lack of parasympathetic activity or imbalance. Parasympathetic activity is behind dis-ease by definition or by etymology. Dis-ease means you're out of parasympathetic relaxation functioning, you're out of ease. Anyway, so I got fascinated with the breath, and then as I started to study the brain, and I started to study the link between the breath and brain waves, and then the breath and the heart, and then the breath and the immune system, etc., I became a big proponent of the breath for health, for mental health, or for spiritual health, for physical health, and then for spiritual health, and then for mental health. First for physical health, but then it got me into understanding how spirituality and mentality are connected to the breath. The alpha brainwave state and the theta brainwave state are linked to a certain rhythm of the breath. They're linked to a certain frequency of the breath. There's an entrainment that happens between your thoughts and your breath. So by controlling your breath, you can control your thoughts. And by the way, by controlling your breath, you can control your entire reality. In fact, we have no idea how much we can control our reality. And this is very important in this crazy coronavirus crazy time that we're living in, this idea that we can control our reality. And what do I mean by that? I don't mean like you could just, like a magician, snap your fingers and then everything just happens. Our reality is like a mirror. The world is a mirror. How we think shows up in our reality, how we, our belief systems, what we focus on. This is why it's so important to focus on high things. The Bible says, where two or three are gathered in my name, there shall I be also. What do you think that means? That means when you start talking about high things come your way. The reality is like a mirror, and if you want reality to smile at you, you've got to smile first. But what do? We watch CNN. We're addicted to Fox News and to the internet and to drama and all of the stuff that's going on. What you see is what's going to come back to you. What you focus on is what's going to come back to you. The more you see poverty, the more you're going to get poverty. The more you see horrible tyranny and abuse of authority, the more you're going to get that. I mean, whatever it is. This is why it's so important to focus on good, positive things. Most of us are living in somebody else's reality. It's being crafted for us. And then it feeds back to us. But it's really based on our own belief systems, because we don't have to buy into it. You don't have to watch the news. Why does anybody watch the news? Tell me why anybody watches the news. Unless you want to see, unless you can separate yourself. If you can separate yourself from it, that's one thing. But it has a gravitational pull. All that stuff in the news has a gravitational pull, because everybody's thinking it, everybody's feeling it. It just pulls you in. It sucks you in. And that's why, by the way, it's important to read self-help books and spiritual books and inspirational books and biography books. I get up every morning between 4:30 and 5, and I spend 2 to 3 hours reading and writing. High stuff, as high as I can get, and sometimes it's science, and sometimes it's biology, because science is pretty high too. I heard a guy today on YouTube talking about, and there's some good stuff on YouTube, by the way. He was talking about how he's stoned on life. He was a guru type guy. He says, I get stoned on life. And what he meant was, he said, I'm always stoned. And then he said he's stoned on life. He meant that there's so much that you can get high from just appreciating the beauty of a tree if you look at it close enough. I get to study cells. So I like reading science books. Science books and textbooks and papers and such, they can put you in a very high state of mind if you do it correctly. Read Eckhart Tolle. Read the Bible. Read Vivation. We talked about Vivation yesterday. Anyway, I didn't mean to get on a rant here. We got Greg Mannion coming up at the bottom of the hour, and he's going to talk about a very cool breath work called Soma breath work. And I've been getting into breath work now. We did Vivation yesterday. We're going to do Greg Mannion today, and then next week there's another breath guy that I'm going to try and get on. At least, hopefully, he'll respond to me. So we'll do that at the bottom of the hour, and then we'll get your calls. 844-236-6010 is our number. So I started to touch on progesterone the other day. I didn't get a chance to really talk about it a lot. In my mind, it's one of the great underappreciated secrets of the world of health, and it's only going to be underappreciated for a little bit. I predict you're going to start hearing about progesterone more and more, because progesterone is not just a hormone, a female hormone, which is what most people think of. It's a feel-good hormone. It's like pregnenolone. We talked about pregnenolone a lot. Pregnenolone is like an anti-cortisol. It's available in the health food store. And that's also another secret, by the way. That's another secret nutritional powerhouse that's very inexpensive, and it's readily available. And it balances out cortisol. It's got sleep benefits. It's got growth benefits. It's got healing benefits. It's not an essential nutrient, obviously. It's a hormone, but it's available in the health food store. It's really kind of cool. Progesterone is not quite there yet, but it's on the way. I think you can get progesterone creams, and I know you can get artificial. Don't fall for not the artificial, but the wild yam stuff. Wild yam has a precursor to progesterone that has certain benefits. It's not all bad, but it's not progesterone. Real progesterone, and I'm coming up with a topical progesterone, and topical progesterone is something that topical progesterone, it's a nice way to deliver progesterone. It's readily available through the skin if you formulate it correctly, which is something that's my personal specialty, is formulating correctly. And you can get a lot of great things for systemic upregulation of progesterone. That is, you can get in your blood and you can jack up your progesterone system inside, but you can also put it on top of your skin. And progesterone has anti-wrinkle benefits and anti-aging benefits and skin health benefits. So if you can find a product that does both, that's pretty darn good. And it does it all in a non-toxic fashion. The most relevant or the most important toxicity is a little bit of drowsiness. So take it before bed. All right. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll get your calls this segment coming up. And then we got Greg Mannion coming up at the bottom of the hour. On the bright side, 844-236-6010 is our number. Just we're talking about progesterone and estrogen, but I was talking about this idea of what we focus on is what we end up getting. And somebody just sent me a text. I have to share this with you. Where the heck is it? Okay. Oh, I do not believe that the virus is done with us. Anyone who dares to take a little peek into the history of pandemics on this planet, checking facts instead of listening to propaganda spewed by pundits and psychopaths. Yeah, SARS ain't done with us, not by a long shot. It goes on. I don't even want to continue reading it. But what do you think this lady's going to see? Excuse me. What do you think this person's going to see? I don't know who it is. What do you think this person is going to see in her life or his life? Of course they're going to see this. There's a phenomenon in psychology called confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is basically the psychological theoretical name, or the name of the theory that says exactly what I just said, that we get the world confirms what we believe is true. Reality confirms our beliefs. So you have to change the beliefs first. You got to somehow figure out a way to change the beliefs first, and that's why immersing yourself in information that's as high as you can get, whatever that is for you. It could be religious, it could be spiritual, it could be scientific, it could be psychological, whatever it is. Immerse yourself in it, and do it at the beginning of the day. Do it as often as you can, but do it at the beginning of the day. And also, while you're doing it, make sure you're breathing. We've got Greg Mannion coming up at the bottom of the hour. We're going to talk about just that. Soma Breathwork is his program. He was a former alcoholic and just kind of drug addict. I think he was a meth addict. And he got into breathing through the 12 steps, which is awesome, by the way, the 12 steps. All right, 844-236-6010. Let's go to our friend Carl, the Truth Raider. Good morning, Carl. What's up, buddy?
Well, Benjamin, I think what's up is perhaps the life of this thing. It might be going away by now.
Speak louder, and you're cutting out, Carl.
Okay, let me just give you my testimony. What's going on here?
Yes.
But what was key to getting me well completely, and it took about a good 8 to 10 weeks, was persistent use of all your particular supplements and Beyond Tangy Tangerine every day.
Thank you, Carl, the Truth Raider.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
If it wasn't for that.
By the way, do you know why, Carl, the Truth Raider, do you know why they call it testimonials? Do you know where the word testimonial comes from?
Yes, I know.
I just thought I'd... Okay, good.
I think it's anatomical. I think.
It's related to a part of the anatomy, yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, I want to get another call in. Carl, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for the testimonial. All right, Lydia from Ohio, my other good friend. I got two good friends, and that's it. Lydia and Carl. What's up, Lydia?
Hi,
What's going on?
Ben.
Hi.
I am so happy to talk to you right now.
Why?
I just wanted to tell you that this week your show has really helped my raising my resonance, because I was pretty low over the weekend.
Good.
With, what took
Good
place,
deal.
and I just want to say that I don't watch any of the bad news. I don't watch any of that stuff because it does bring people down. And
yeah.
But I'm still affected because
of course you are.
We're all connected.
Yeah, you are. You got neighbors and you got signs and they're wearing masks. What do you think the masks are? It's to remind you. The mask, everywhere's a mask, so you can't forget. Not only that, but you have to shut up. The mask is about shutting up, right? So it covers your mouth,
right.
Covers your mouth, and it's just shut up and behave yourself, and we get reinforced as we see each other's masks. It's magic. The New England Journal of Medicine calls it magic. I'm not saying it. New England Journal of Medicine said it's a talisman, i.e. magic, but they didn't say what it was magic for, and I'm telling you what it's magic for. It's magic for shut the F up. And you're not going to forget this. It's here. You're always going to wear it.
I do a lot of walking in the neighborhood, and so does everybody else. And they hold your breath when they walk by you.
It's absurd. It's absurdity it's at the highest degree. But because of confirmation bias, you're not going to convince anybody, and they're going to see what they're going to see. There's reality occurs in parallel layers, if you will. It's called the many worlds hypothesis in physics, and you're going to get the world that you see. It's as simple as that. You're going to get the world you see. It's like if you buy a car, right? All of a sudden, you're going to see that car everywhere. Have you ever noticed that? I have.
You
know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. Because we have a thing called the reticular activating system in our brain. You ever hear this? The RAS. The reticular activating system is a part of your brain that filters out the zillions, with a Z, zillions and zillions and zillions of bits of data that are coming in. It can't handle it. You can't handle all that data, so you filter it. The brain does shortcuts. It gives you what you think is necessary for your survival. So you think that you need to protect yourself from a virus, you're going to see masks. You're going to start looking for strategies to protect yourself from the virus. You're going to wear a mask. But if you see the stupidity of it all, you're going to look at people with the mask and you're going to say, my God, how did I get on this planet? How did I get on planet stupid? What did I do?
Yeah,
but we have to still accept that if we see it in our life and we're affected by it, which I am, I got to tell you, you see it and you're affected by it, you still have something in you. And I still have something in me. So that's our reality, which is why it's important, Lydia, as I know you know this, and you know so much more than you know. You know so much more than you think you know. Lydia, did you hear me?
I'm learning that. I'm learning that from you.
Okay, that's very important information for you. You know more than you think you know, number one.
Right.
And that's why you're not learning, you're remembering. You follow me? You're not learning. Okay, good. Okay, good. Of course you love it. It's true.
Yeah.
You're learning, and a lot of people are like that. We remember. That's that kind of feeling that you get, and that's why you gravitate towards this kind of stuff. Do you notice how you gravitate towards this kind of stuff? Of course. Why do you think people are listening? There's like probably 100 people listening, but you're. Today. What's that?
This is the best. Your talk today, what you taught us today, was the best of. This is the cherry on the cake for what you just did. I mean, look, every day was. I would tell everybody go to the archives and listen to this week. Because
we're an acquired taste, Lydia. You and I are an acquired taste. Not everybody likes this stuff. People want to hear doom and gloom.
Ben,
Ben,
you've got to change that belief. You've got to change that belief. Because the reason why is because we need for people to understand that spirituality is part of good health.
Yes.
And maybe you need to teach what spirituality is. It's not just. Yes. It's not religion. I mean, it's
not religion, and it's not crystals, and it's not New Age.
Right.
It's wanting to make the world a better place and understanding you have tools, you have resources, you have access to tools that can help you make the world a better place for yourself and for everybody else. Because as you love others, so you will love yourself. And when we love the world, where's that oxytocin going? Where's that dopamine going? Whose blood pressure is dropping? Whose immune system is getting strong when you love the world and you love reality and you put out love to your neighbors? That's what it means to love your neighbors as you love yourself. When you love your neighbor, and by that it can mean the whole world or reality, whatever it is, your chemistry changes. You know what I'm saying? You're loving others as you love yourself at the same time as you love yourself. We want to rethink that, what that means. It's really powerful stuff for how we can control our world and our lives and have great, awesome lives. So, all right.
Exactly.
We got Greg Mannion. Thanks, Lydia. You got to go. Thank you. I love you too. Thank you. All right. Greg Mannion coming up right after this on the bright side. Don't go away. We are back on the bright side. I'm Pharmacist Ben, and we're on the air Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific, 10 to 11 Central, 24/7 on the archive page at brightsideben.com, as well as benfuchsarchives.com. Thank you to Peter in the UK for setting that up. It's got a search engine on there. If you want to purchase longevity products, go to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. And don't forget to take a look at our Truth Skin Health products at truthtreatments.com. Never any preservatives, fragrances, fillers, waxes, emulsifiers, water, silicone, oil, nothing your skin doesn't need or doesn't want in any of our True Skin Health products, all formulated for wound healing in my compounding pharmacy, now available to you for beautification and healthy, gorgeous, glowing skin. Go to truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. All right. I am really excited to have our guest on. Greg Mannion is a breathing expert, I guess you'd say. He's got a program that he works with called Soma Breath. It involves breath work, music, meditation, and as he says in his bio here, it takes him to another place, and I know exactly what he's talking about. The breath is, as we've talked about for years on this program, the breath is a powerful tool for accessing not just physical health, but also mental health and spiritual health as well, and there's a good reason why spiritual practices, at least Eastern spiritual practices, really put an emphasis on the breath. Please welcome to the bright side, Greg Mannion. What's up, Greg?
Hello, Ben. How are you? This is Greg. Nice to be here. Thanks for inviting me. I'm really good.
Yes. Nice to talk to you. Let me just tell the listeners that I ran into Greg's work on the internet, and then I connected with him, and we've been talking. I've been going into some of his biography, and then getting into a little bit of Soma work. And so we're going to do a real brief sampling of what Soma work is about, and then before we do that, I want Greg to tell you a little bit about Greg, your personal story, as well as Soma breathing in general terms.
Yeah, of course. Thanks, Ben. Well, basically, okay, so I'm not your average kind of breathwork guy or your meditation guy. I come from Liverpool in the north of England, hence the slightly strange accent. And then I actually live in Barcelona, Spain for the past 14 years, and I've currently been traveling around the world doing this method Soma. The past 2 years I've been doing this, but I've recently been traveling around the world and doing various workshops all over the place, and I'm currently in Thailand. And occasionally I use the word, I'm stuck in Thailand, but I'm not, because it's paradise and it's beautiful. But my story, how I got into, let's say, meditation and then breath work, was I had a drinking problem. It was very serious. I stopped drinking roughly 7.5 years ago. And through a 12-step program, I got better. As soon as it's like anything in life, as soon as you make the decision, it really made a huge difference. And I got some help, and I did what I had to do, and my life changed dramatically. I didn't want to be anyone else. I just wanted to be me. So let's fast forward a few years, and eventually I got into transcendental meditation. And as usual, for me, it has to be someone I admire or is a bit different that can bring me into these practices, because I do believe that some of them look a little bit too special, and it makes people a little bit wary of them, I think. So I was drawn in by David Lynch to transcendental meditation. I enjoyed it, and I understood what it is. I practiced it. And then about a year or so after that, I was drawn to another character called Wim Hof, and some people might know him, the Iceman, and his particular technique of getting people into the water. So I studied that a little bit as well. Then I went to a seminar, had a huge breakthrough when I did breathing with a lot of people. Makes a huge difference. And with him there and doing this whole ceremony, and I really, really enjoyed it. I had a huge breakthrough, like I was crying my eyes out in the best way possible, like a complete release. And I went to the front of the stage. It was just over 2 years ago, and I said, I want to be an instructor now. But that was just the start. I just knew I could do it. Something was calling me. There was a bit of performance there, and I've done a bit of acting and singing and stuff in the past. So I knew something just told me this was the time. Then I met the guy who's come up with Soma, which is similar to the Wim Hof, but it takes it to another level. We have meditation and music, and then we combine other techniques with the basic, very, very powerful technique. And eventually I went to Soma. I studied a little bit of the Wim Hof, but I got into Soma more, and I realized it was more expansive. I realized I could do it online. Something clicked. When a few things in your life click at the same time, and I've never looked back. That was 2 years ago, and I've not stopped traveling, done many workshops in Barcelona, and it's given me, there's a course we have called the 21-Day Protocol, and doing that, we really like to play with, I call it the power of your subconscious mind, the law of attraction, really focusing on what you want. This is one of the unique things about the technique. It's guided meditations. You can do it without guidance, and simply the breathing to the music for as long as you want. It can be like a 15-minute, 20-minute session, or an hour or more. But for me, all the things I was thinking of when I started the 21-Day Protocol, I wrote them down, I visualized them, I focused on them. Honestly, they came true. At various moments, they came true. And it really woke me up to the power of, to me, it's not just about breath work. It's not just about meditation or music. It's what we can do with our mind when we truly focus. But for me, a huge thing as well is energizing the body in a positive way. And I know you've mentioned it on the show. I was just listening to one of your past interviews. The breath can do this. The breath can change our state within minutes. And it's extremely powerful. And I just love what I'm doing. Here I am.
Hey, Greg, that's beautiful. Everything you said is really beautiful. It's right on with what we talk about on this program and my personal beliefs. That's why I knew I wanted you on the program. Yeah. But Soma is a really interesting take on breath work because it combines a few different modalities. Tell us a little bit about that. And we only have about a minute before we got to go to break.
Yeah, so basically, you've got the rhythmical breathing, okay? And again, I mentioned the Wim because it is similar, and Naj did actually work with him, but he's taking it to another level. So you have the rhythmical breathing, but it's not stressing the body. It's nasal breath towards the belly and with an extended exhale. We often do extended exhales or rhythmical breathing as well, like a 4x4 to keep it in that rhythm. Now you have the breath holds out. You're holding all the breath out of your body. This creates a natural stress response on the body. Then we're playing with our Kundalini energy as well. We're bringing the energy from our roots all the way into our mind while we focus. This genuinely brings in a visualization technique and the energy through the body and simply holding, filling that brain with all those thoughts and the extra blood that you're physically creating in your body, and then simply going back into rhythmical breathing again. And you mix this with the music that actually takes it to another level. It's purely designed to get you into those states. And I think the rhythmical music really helps people stay there, and it helps guide them along with the guidance as well. And then you have obviously the meditations. I mean, it's designed so that people can really do something else they want to do, something extra. I truly, because I have quite a lot of energy, I need also to do the relaxing breath, to calm down, to focus. But with this, I do use it with some clients when I want to kind of release some traumas, because I can do a guided meditation specifically for them. But in groups, it does change, but it's often about what we want to focus on, what we want to bring into our life, and how we can attain that simply by visualizing, focusing, see it, and then feel it in your body as if it's truly happening. Another one is Joe Dispenza. It reminds me of some of the things that he says as well, and I really admire him, his work. And there's another book called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. It was out in the 60s, and that was given to me about 5 years ago by a chiropractor. They luckily realized it wasn't just a physical pain, there was something emotional there with these problems I had. And over time, I haven't necessarily got rid of them, but I now can recognize them, and I can use the breath to solve at least partially those problems. There's always different types of work you have to do. So you have that visualization side, you have the breathing side, you have the breath hold, you have the music, and then you have someone like me on top giving you a guided meditation either for something powerful, or it can be forgiveness, it can be healing.
Hey, Greg, we got to take a break, buddy. Greg, we got to take a break. We'll come back and give you a sample. Talking to Greg Mannion. Soma Meditation will be back right after this. Okay, we're back on the bright side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We're talking to Greg Mannion. His book, his website is infinitebreathworks.com. Infinitebreathworks.com. He also has a Facebook page, Infinite Breath Group. And how's it going? What's the response been to all of this stuff, Greg?
So could you just repeat the last sentence? I couldn't quite hear you.
Yeah, I was saying, what has been the response to all of this, to your work on Facebook and your workshops and your private coaching sessions and the retreats, etc.?
It's amazing because, so like I mentioned, about 2 years ago, I started this, and then quite quickly I started doing free sessions for friends to learn how it was going, and straight away the reaction from people, how the breath itself and how this technique is so enjoyable, and it mixed with the music, it always takes people to another level. The worst response I've ever had is, I feel good, 99% of people come out of it with a different feeling, a different view of themselves, and a different view of what they can do. Because in my meditations, I genuinely try to either get people to release. The more we release and get things out, which is even just as simple as an extended exhale or an intense meditation, we let go of things. You have more space to bring things into your life. But the response all over the world, to me, I'm a big fan of everyone is exactly the same. We all have the same emotions, but maybe with slightly different colors. There's no one better or worse. I come from a kind of working class, middle class background, and I deal with every single type of person. I used to work on the street as a street performer as well, and I liked it. It's all mixed in. I purposely get people dancing around, moving around in my workshops, and then relaxing, then breathing slowly, then we go into the method. And I love it because every time I do one, I just get the buzz to do another one. I do Sunday sessions every single week, live online. It's only 1 hour, and I just go straight into it. And again, the connection, even online, because we all have to do a lot of that more now. It's beautiful. It really is beautiful. People like to connect in any way, and that to me is the basis of spirituality, connection. It doesn't need to be intellectual, doesn't always need to be some high ideal. It's simply a connection, and that's what we get.
Before we had you on, we were talking about this idea how what we put out is what we get kind of thing. And when we love others, we love ourselves. And that's kind of what you're talking about here. You get high, too, when you do these classes, right? I mean, you as you're teaching them, you're learning and you're developing skills, and you're also getting high and secreting biochemistry and neurochemistry of pleasure and bliss and strong immunity and anti-aging and good health in general. So you're getting the benefit, too. That's the beautiful thing about giving.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Exactly, but it's also the weird thing is, so when I am doing the method to a point, and I'm there in the group, but I can't, because I'm counting in the rhythm, because I'm telling people to hold the breath, and I continue with this meditation, I'm not necessarily getting all of the benefits, but
not all of it.
It's like, I call it a vocation. It's not a job. But if sometimes you go and you have to go and you don't particularly want to, I swear to God, anytime I've felt like that and I've done a class, the entire energetic field I feel in myself and with other people afterwards is totally different. So I get the benefits from that, if you see what I mean, as well. And that's connection, which is what I've always wanted. We all have it, but at times we maybe miss it or lose it. And it's as simple as a class with one other person or with 200 people in the room. You can feel the benefits by doing these things together, and I get people to talk about their emotions in a group setting. Short and sweet little things, and it really works because people break down the barriers a little bit more, which helps them go deeper. My idea about this is going at it so that people don't even know they're meditating, but they are,
Beautiful. I don't want to. I mean, we could talk for a long time about this, but I want the listeners to get to experience a little bit. Can you do it in 2 minutes?
Okay.
Can you do something in 2 or 3 minutes just to give us a tiny flavor of it? And then I encourage everyone to go to infinitebreathworks.com or check out the Facebook page, Infinite Breath Group, Facebook group.
Page, Infinite Breath Group, yeah, because that's where you'll see the Sunday sessions. You can join live. But yes, give me about 3 minutes, and what I'm going to do, just tell me one thing. I had an idea before. Can you hear this? Can you hear that?
Yeah. Try and talk into the phone.
I'm going to play the ukulele. We're going to breathe in a rhythm, okay? Very simply, if anyone's listening, we want to do this now. It's 3 minutes, so this is literally a taste. But simply follow me, breathing in a rhythm, breathing in through your nose towards your belly, and then out through your mouth with a sigh of relief, okay? In by 4, out by 4. After roughly 2 minutes of simple, relaxed, rhythmical breathing, I will say breathe all the air out. Completely hold your breath for as long as you can, and then we're going to breathe in and hold, okay? Very, very, very quick, very, very simple introduction, but let's try it. Hopefully you can hear my ukulele. I'm going to play now, and then I'm going to guide you to just breathe with me. Okay. Okay, in a moment we're going to breathe in. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4.
Hello? Did we lose him? Oh, am I on the air? All right. Hey, I don't know what happened there. I was just getting into it. But everything he was saying was so right on. I'm not sure we'll get him back. So if you're interested in checking it out, Greg Mannion, infinitebreathworks.com. And then the group is infinitebreathgroup.com. Maybe we'll have Greg on back. He said something very interesting, which I forgot to mention, and that's this idea of rhythm. The body loves rhythm. The brain loves rhythm. So when you're breathing, and this is a really important point. Sometimes we hear about breathing and we think we want to do it, but we do it wrong. We either do it too fast, or we have too much inhale compared to exhale. And as Greg said, you want to exhale. The exhale is where the good stuff is, believe it or not. And also the third thing is, and the most important thing, is the rhythm. The body and the brain love rhythm, and the body and the brain will entrain on a rhythm, meaning they'll superimpose their energies on top of a rhythm. So this superimposition of the brain's energy and the body's energy on the rhythm of the breath stabilizes things. And this is especially important if you're feeling chaotic. It's especially important if you're feeling out of control. It's especially important if you feel like things are coming at you from all directions and you need to be stabilized. Getting into a rhythm, and Greg kind of mentioned it, but he didn't really hit on it too much, but it's a really, really important point. It's the rhythm that gets you into everything. And that's why I like Soma Breath so much, is because they use music. And the music entrains your brain and entrains your heart and entrains your body so that it gets into a rhythm. And that's what that's when we function best. Greg, are you there? Do we have Greg?
I'm back again. Hello.
I'm sorry, Greg. We lost you, and I was just getting into it, and then you were gone. So real quick, what do you want people to know? We only have about a minute. What do you want people to know about breathwork, about Soma, and about what you're doing?
Basically, you can change your state. You can change your life if you really wanted to. Any breathwork technique. But this is very, very powerful. Like you just mentioned, the rhythm and the music, you're going to get yourself into a state of coherence very, very quickly. If you want to calm down, the simple extended exhale techniques that really do work. But my point with this breathwork is that it's open to everybody. I hope and I pray that everyone gets involved in breathwork in some way, and it takes away the specialness that it's impossible for everyone to really feel that bliss and that happiness within you. It's really that simple.
Greg, I couldn't have said it better myself. That was awesome. The idea of taking your control, your health back in your control, portal. And anybody can do it, and that's so important, because we dumb ourselves down. We think that we're weaker than we are, and we have to go outside of our body. And the Bible says, "Nearer than the breath am I, closer than hands and feet. Nearer than the breath am I." The only thing closer than the breath is spirituality, is who you really are in your essence, and the portal to that can be through the breath. Thank you so much, Greg. That was awesome. I appreciate it. And then Infinite Breath. Good deal. Good to talk to you. InfiniteBreathworks.com and then InfiniteBreathGroup.com. Best of luck to you, Greg, in all your ventures. Appreciate it. And you know what? I think I'm going to sign up. I'm going to sign up myself. Can you give me a one-on-one? Greg, do we lose Greg?
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Please, no problem.
I'm going to Facebook you. I want to get a one-on-one myself. I've never had a one-on-one coaching session, although I will say I did have a sort of one-on-one.
I will take you through a great session, my friend. Not a problem.
I'm looking.
I'll do a personalized meditation just for you.
I appreciate it, Greg. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much. Be well. Have a great evening, I guess, where you are. Greg's in Thailand. Thanks, Greg. All right, that's all the time we have for
you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, brother. Okay, take care. Love that. Love Soma. Soma means body, and the Soma meditation is about being in the body, about getting the meditation in the body. And once you get that meditative energy in the body, oh my God, that is the most blissful, beautiful feeling. And that's why meditation is medication, the way I look at it. Meditation is medication. Way better than any pharmaceutical medication that you could get. All right, I am Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for listening to The Bright Side. Check out our websites, brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com for longevity products, and truthtreatments.com for all our Truth Skin Health products. Have a wonderful, beautiful, awesome, spectacular day. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.